So where to begin? So I found out over the weekend that another friend of mine that I knew, not a very close friend, but a casual acquaintance and someone I talked to quite a few times over the years, who had been struggling with a bunch of stuff, committed suicide. She was a gorgeous young lady. She has a daughter. And it's just, I just can't believe we keep losing people every fucking day. And you know what's funny? Is I just decided I want to talk about this because I've seen so many people take their own fucking lives. I used to have a very different view about suicide. When I was naive and I was younger, I would hate people that committed suicide more than anything because I felt like it was a cowardice act. It only hurts the people that are left behind and this and that and so on and so forth. I had so many justifications of why to stand on a pulpit and sit there and talk down and bad about people. And you know what? It's that kind of talk that drives people to that shit. One of the biggest things that I didn't know was that I didn't know about the mental health issue of people that want to take their lives, that wake up in the morning and can't figure out why they don't want to live. They just are not happy with their lives. They can't find why, any kind of reason just to go on. They wake up and they just don't want to be here. And then I keep hearing shit over and over and over, and I keep seeing shit, and it starts to all make sense to me now. People just don't let people be, and that's what drives other people to not want to be here. They are not accepted. They like the same shit I say all the time in all my videos for people who always watch my shit and all the stuff I preach. We as human beings, everybody wants to be loved, acknowledged, accepted, and respected. And when you don't get those things, then people don't feel like life is worth living. You could be born the most richest person in the world or the most poorest person in the world, but if you don't have love, acceptance, and you don't feel like you matter in life, or you don't have anything going for you, and you don't have a reason to go forward, that, outside of mental health, is why people are constantly, because people don't let people be. A friend of mine, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, told me that her beautiful 15-year-old daughter was being bullied. She came out as gay, gorgeous girl, came out as gay at her high school, and a bunch of the kids bullied her to the point that she wanted to kill herself, and her mom had to take her to the hospital. Another friend of mine, about 10 years ago, same thing happened. Wasn't gay, but was in high school, was unhappy. Next thing you know, they're calling me, telling me that they're in the hospital with their teenage daughter because she didn't want to live anymore, and she wouldn't cough up the reason why. But again, it comes down to people not treating these people well. Found out that a friend who has a daughter killed herself. Gorgeous girl. She was heartbroken about a relationship where a guy used her and broke her heart, strung her along for years and years. And that depression took over her so much that she just finally went ahead and did it. I had a friend call me 4 weeks ago. It's a Sunday afternoon. She wrote me a message on Facebook Messenger. She texted me, thank God. I was in the middle of doing something. I dropped fucking everything I had to do. She said, and I called her. She said, I need to talk to you. It's important. I said, okay. Called her right in the middle of that Sunday. And then the first thing she said out of her mouth, she was crying. She says, I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. I said, where the fuck are you? I'm on the way. I fucking dropped everything I did, changed in my clothes, jumped in my car, and I was on my way, and I was by her side within 30 minutes. And I stayed with her, and we talked. Thank God we got her checked into a hospital and got her talked to a doctor, talked to her family, and I stayed with her all the way until the night. I talked to her family till late at night, and she's doing much better, and things are going well with her. But that's the kind of availability we need to have for the people in our lives. You don't know what people are going through these days. You know, these days there's so many people plagued with just fucking unhappiness that they're constantly finding that there's nothing else out there that they feel that's left for them. So they just decide to say fuck it and end it. And you know what's weird is some of these are the most accomplished, what you would think, the most successful people, making good money, having good stable jobs, beautiful looking people, in shape, not anything that you would think that might, if you looked at that person, you would never know that they were suffering so bad each and every day. I had another friend of a friend out of state. Their 12-year-old daughter hung herself in a tree. Again, because she was being bullied. Her parents didn't even know about it. She didn't even tell her parents about it because her parents weren't there for her, weren't listening to her, weren't talking to her, weren't taking the time out of the day to be involved in her life because she has 2 working parents and they were ignoring her. All I'm saying is I don't have all the fucking answers. All I know is I hear all this shit and one thing rings true to me over and over. One is acceptance of people, however the fuck they are. As a Christian, I believe only God can judge us, no one else. Fuck. Anyone else judges you, fuck that person. Don't let that shit sink into you. It doesn't matter what other people think of you. All that matters is the people around you that love and care about you. When I was younger, I contemplated suicide. I thought about it a lot. I never did it. I contemplated it deeply, though, for quite a few times. Why? Because I was feeling sorry for myself. I'm not as lucky. I had my own deal with it, and I can't categorize everybody else with that. But my own deal with it was that I was unhappy with the way my life was going, with what was going on in my life, and I didn't have an approach. I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel accepted. I didn't know where I was going to go, what I was going to do, and things like that. So I felt like that. But you know what? I was lucky enough that I was able to digest that stuff, fight through it myself on my own, figure out a path, and come back from it. Because I said, you know what? That's weak for me. I'm going to fight through this. I'm not giving up. And I've got more to live for, and I'm going to prove everybody wrong, and I'm going to do better. I'm going to stop feeling sorry for myself. And from that day forward, I started fighting forward through everything I had to do, working my ass off at whatever I had to do to get through whatever I needed to do, no matter what, and decided I would never quit and never be that weak to be woe is me ever again. But that was me. That's my story, my own personal battle, my way of dealing with things. But not everybody's the same. Not everyone has the same wherewithal as me. Not everyone has the same mind. Not everyone has the same anything. I didn't have any support. I did it all on my own. All I'm saying is look at the people in your life. Look at the people around you. And check in on them. See what they're doing. Ask how the fuck they are. Call them up. Check and watch people. Remember, nobody wants to go through this life miserable. If people are constantly miserable and they're doing things that don't seem right, they're not smiling, they're not happy, you don't hear from them a lot, and they're constantly griping and there's no positiveness coming from them, something's wrong. And somebody needs to take the time. If you notice that, it's not going to take a lot of time, energy, effort out of whatever you're doing to say, hey, what's going on with you? Let me talk to you. All I'm asking is to look and check in with the people around you. Pay attention to them. And if somebody's crying out, and when I say crying out, acting out of character, you see them unhappy constantly, you see them drinking too much, you see them doing drugs, you see them acting excessive, that's a cry for help. If they're acting out of character and acting out of normal, they need help. Something's going on. If they're unhappy or they're constantly bitching, believe them. It's not just because they didn't get enough sleep or they're in a bad mood or they're unhappy about. That means that something's deeply rooted there that's causing it more than that. If small things are upsetting them, take the time to listen, to reach out to them, to see, and take the time. And above all else, if anybody watches this video, and you know me, and just like my friend called me that day on that Sunday, if you are in that kind of position where you think you're about giving up on life and you don't want to be here anymore, fucking call me. I don't give a fuck how late it is. I don't care what day it is. I don't care if it's in the middle of work. I will drop whatever the fuck it is that I gotta go on to come and talk to you. I promise you that if I can, if I'm able to. PM me. If you don't have my number, email me. Do whatever it is that you have to do to get my attention, because I'm sick and tired of losing good people because people think that people don't care. I fucking care. We only have one life to live. We only have one opportunity to get it right. And whatever it is not worth giving up on yourself. It's not worth leaving behind people, because there's a lot of people out there that love and care about you that may not know that you're struggling, or you may think they won't understand. Put your pride aside. Just let someone know. Don't fucking take, as they say, a temporary problem and make a permanent solution. This continues to happen. It is not the fucking right answer. There is always someone out there that cares and loves about you. And even if not, if they just knew about your problem, they would reach out and they would go and pull so many resources to help you out. So stop giving up and giving into that negativity. You gotta fucking fight that shit back. No man is an island. You don't have to take on every battle in life by yourself. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to your family. If you don't have any friends, you don't have any family. Me and you are only fucking Facebook friends. I'm your fucking friend. Reach out to me. Okay? I'm telling you that right fucking now. Because I'm sick and tired of us losing good people in the world.